part that we should be praying for our enemies. How practical is that? Or not really practical. How easy is that? You've been hurt. This person has hurt you, and you instead of coming, when I do something wrong to you, naturally you expect me to come and say Moseti Pole.
Yes.
But at this point, you're the one who's the victim of the situation. It looks like it's even me who it's now I become the victim. It looks like you are the one who has wronged me. How do we handle such situations? Let's just be real and talk about. It's easy to say that pray for your enemies. It is in church pulpits that nowadays you'll hear people saying, cut off. If this person is not doing good to your mental health, do what? Cut them
The
off.
ministry of cutting off.
The ministry of cutting off. I don't know who is sharpening these machetes, but there's a lot of cutting off that is going on in our homes, even in churches. Just briefly, in one line, all of us, just let's talk about it. Starting with Brian, then we go to Becky.
Yes, it's not easy.
Your microphone.
Sorry. Yes, it's difficult, as you have rightly said. But when you look at it in the context of your own situation and what you deserve and what Christ did for you, that can only happen if you are a Christian, a child of God, who has appreciated
Amen.
what Christ has
Amen.
done. When you have appreciated what Christ has done for you, that is the only time that you can be able to do that. Otherwise, if you are not a child of God, if you are just you have not really been converted, it's not easy to go down on your knees and tell God, forgive so and so. But when you have reached a place where you have experienced what Christ has done for you, you really appreciate what it took God to reconcile you to Himself. Then it can be easy.
If you are a child of God, I'm insisting on that point, Becky.
We are looking at following God in trying times.
Imagine.
And that is actually one of those trying moments we have. This is what Jesus said, that you have heard that it was said, the cutting off ministry. You have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy, or rather cut him off. But I say to you, love your enemies. Bless those who curse you. Do good to those who hate you. And pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you, that you may be sons of your Father in heaven. For He makes His sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and on the unjust.
Amen.
For if you love those who love you, what reward have you? Do not even the tax collectors do the same? And if you greet your brethren only, what do you do more than others? Do not even the tax collectors do so? Therefore you shall be perfect, just as your Father in heaven is perfect.
Wow. Case closed.
Yeah, it is Christ who says that is the standard that we need to walk in. And when we are unable to reach that standard, we go back to Him who gave it and say, God, help me. Help me. The thing is, when we are looking for similarity with people, we want to be same. We don't want to be odd one out. So conforming becomes the easy way out. Because you don't want to be told, you're sure you're doing this. It's the same way. It's the same way you return tithe and someone asks you, in this economy, you're giving 10%. Yeah, so there's always a way out for compromise. It's always the easy way out. But when you look back and ask yourself, what does God require? What does the Lord require of you, oh man? Then it becomes difficult, but through Christ it can be done.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Can I say something also? I read something interesting. Should be in the Torah, maybe in Numbers, or is it Leviticus? And God was saying that if you see the donkey of your enemy, and then it defines, and then it says, who, it doesn't say of thine enemy whom thou hatest, but who hatest thee. So as in, the assumption there is that you cannot control who hates you, but surely you can control hating somebody else. It's not expected that you hate someone else. And I went on to read elsewhere. Even Christ says, those who despitefully use you, your enemies. And then he says your enemies are not the ones you hate, but the ones who do
hate
evil
you.
to you. You see. So yeah, so that's of course Christ is not telling us that we should be in intimate relationships with those who are doing evil. Certainly not, because bad company corrupts good morals. That's not
yeah.
what he means. But we should love everyone, and we should be kind, and we should pray for them. You know, yeah, we should not be. Thou shalt not hate thy neighbor in thine heart. That's what he said.
Amen. I've had to deal with a situation just was so recently where I needed to forgive, and it was hard. I agree, it was hard, and I would wake up daily. I'm sitting next to this person who has done so hurtful things to me, and every day I'd even feel like, God, you're not calling me to forgive this person. You are not asking me, you know. But after wrestling, it's not easy. We are agreeing that I'm agreeing. I don't know the rest. I'm agreeing that it is not easy, because I had to get to a point where we keep saying, you ask God to help you.
Don't cut off
We are
people.
not cutting off people.
I think we
Amen.
cut off people.
Yes.
Scenarios where we are told if somebody calls himself a brother and he is a brawler or he is a fornicator, you should not even eat with them. You see? So as in there is that, you know, there is a brother when like, or there are statements like, you can bear with their friends and families but not with their vices. You see, that's why we draw the line. But that don't mean we hate people. But I think we love we love reaching that point of cutting off too soon,
Very
you know, and very
fast.
quickly. Yeah. So I
Without
think
doing anything,
Absolutely.
without praying about it, without
Exactly.
attempting reconciliation,
Sure,
you
sure.
simply say, "Let me cut off," and maintain
Especially
my peace.
31st December. Cutting off happens. You cut off. I pray that we move away from that. It's not godly. It's not